I am here, back again at the lake, or at least on the trail that leads to the lake. I am gasping for breath right now. If you watched my last video here, which is a couple of days ago, the search for the lake I called it, which is where we're going right now, I got off the bike quite a few times on the way up here, just take a breather and walk the bike because it's uphill a lot of the way. And today I challenged myself to, and there's a sign, to the lake. Not a bad little shot there with the sun in the background. I challenged myself to ride further than I did the other day. So not only did I ride further than I did the other day, I almost came here completely without stopping or getting off the bike. And my legs were on fire. But I wanted to push myself, because I know my back isn't ready for jogging or running just yet, judging by the other day. But I think I can push myself on the bike, and I came up here today just to have a walk around the whole lake, really, have a little bit of a better view around the place, and also the sun's out. It's a really nice day, but it's very cold, so I brought an extra jacket and gloves and stuff like that. But alright, so I'm here at the lake. There's a lot of people around, so not too many opportunities to sit down and vlog, but the lake's right here. It's a really nice day. I kind of like the sun being out, but it being a bit brisk as well. It's kind of nice. But I'm going to try and ride around the lake and like map the the distance on the Strava app, just to see what a whole rotation of the lake would amount to in distance. So I think I'm going to do that now, and then I'll get back to you. Alright, I've done it, a full circle, full lap of the path around the lake. I came back to this log right here as the marker, and it is 1.2 miles if Strava is being 100% accurate, which is probably not the case, but I'd say you could round off as a good mile, basically. So not too bad, considering I jogged half the way around, really, the other day. Only I jogged, I think, 0.3 miles in one direction, then I jogged back. Just so I wouldn't have to walk as far back, basically. But there you go. Where I'm going to go sit down now and get some talking done. So I'm here on the little jetty thing again. You can see the lake behind me. Much better, clearer view from the other day, to say the least. And some kids riding around making wolf howling noises. And this whole thing is sopping wet, absolutely drenched. I think people come and swim here. I'm not too sure. The ducks are coming again. Yeah, the ducks are coming straight over. But yeah, so it's nice to see this place with a bit more sun and things like that. I mean, it just looks a lot brighter, and I can now see on the far edge that that is kind of like the main spot. There's a little kind of bit of a beach there on the other side, way over there, with like a kids play thing, and there's a cafe around the bend as well. It kind of goes round, and you can't see from here that there's like a red house just beyond that point. And it goes around there and stuff, and so you don't even get a full view from over here. You don't really get a full view from anywhere, really. But there's lots of little cool places, little benches, things like that. And here's the ducks. You can see them gliding over, slowly making their way towards me. But yeah, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to go lock my bike up around there somewhere, and then I'm going to walk around at a more leisurely pace. Even though I was taking it pretty slow on the bike and stopping and stuff and having a look around, so it took about 11 minutes. I'm sure I could get that down to like 6, and if I was a kid, probably about 3. It's funny, when you're a kid, you just got so much stamina and stuff, and then when you get older you have to kind of really work at it, as opposed to when you're a kid it's effortless. For some people anyway, it depends on your metabolism, all the variables that go along with it. But yeah, even coming back round and closing the bend, I mean, I went round from kind of just behind me there all the way around there, and around here it starts getting a bit more uphill, And it wasn't even really uphill at all, but it was really, I was really struggling, just panting, and it's just like, this is not good, you know. But I'm really glad that I challenged myself and pushed myself to cycle almost completely all the way up here to the lake without stopping, without kind of making myself sick and hyperventilate. Because when we first got this bike, I took it up to the shop, and there's a super steep hill to one of the shops we go to from our place, and I tried to just power ride up it, and I hadn't been on a bike for years, and I almost fainted. Like, it was just the complete raw. I just jumped straight in too much too soon, basically. But yeah, I'm gonna go lock the bike up and then have a little bit of a walk around and maybe film some stuff and sit down or whatever, if I can find a bench that isn't completely soaking wet like this one. So here we go. I keep saying that, here we go, but here I go. Look at that view. It's absolutely gorgeous with the sun coming through the trees like that. That stuff I just love. I just love walking around and seeing this. Check out this spot. Pretty cool. I'm sure there's loads of spiders and stuff above me, which I hate, but found a little pathway down here to the stream. Thought I'd have a little bit of an explore on foot. I know there's a lot of snakes around here. Snakes. I've never heard that before, snakes. Yeah. I love streams. I used to love building dams at streams when I was a kid and kind of blocking the water off and stuff, and I used to love doing things like that. Not that I ever got out to places like this too often, but when I go on holiday and things like that, definitely something that I love doing. So yeah, this didn't seem to lead anywhere in particular. Well, yeah, it leads out to the lake obviously, but it kind of stops. Well, it doesn't stop, but there's loads of reeds and stuff, so it doesn't kind of just flow out in a nice kind of aesthetically pleasing way. Oh, it looks like I can get up to the where the cafe is from here, so I don't have to go back that way. Oh, look at that. I just love shit like that. A few minutes ago I just had to kind of stop and just look around the lake and not worry about, okay, you know, let's film some stuff, whatever. I just kind of took it in, had the headphones in, listened to some Pink Floyd, had a live recording of one of their 1987 shows, which I'd never heard before, so that was very nice to listen to, and it will continue to be because I've still got loads more left. But I could probably hop over this actually and get to the other side, but there's not much over there. I love running water, streams. I don't know why. There's just something very pleasing about listening to it and looking at it, and the flow of water. Very interesting to me. But yeah, why am I here? Why am I even doing this video? I don't know. I guess I'll talk more about that. Is there even anything to talk about? I don't know. I said to Ian Football, I said I'm going out to the lake today. I want to film a video, but I just don't know what about. And I guess I still don't. But I'll rustle up some topics to talk about and make this not just a completely boring, hey look I'm here, hey look I'm there. But that was fun. Coming down to the stream. I'll take a few pictures actually, and then I'll wander back up onto the main path, I think. Awesome, love it. Alright, so I'm off the lake trail now, and I just saw this trail went down here. Thought I'd have a look around. It looked like it might lead to a really nice view, but doesn't seem to be. There's a lot of trees and there's a main road nearby as well. But yeah, definitely keeping an eye out for any undesirables on the path. I probably should, as they say, and I hate the term, man up. But, you know, I just like to be cautious of anything that's out there that might be out to get me. But yeah, right, so what is this video even about? That's the thing, that's the real question. Well, I figured I could do these every once in a while whenever I want to get out and just kind of, you know, vlog a bit about anything in particular in my life, or talk about movies or whatever, you know. It's just a different kind of change of scenery, I suppose. Looks like the trail kind of ends here, or it gets a lot less rooty anyway. You can see there's just tree roots everywhere, big huge ones. I'll follow this down a little bit more, but then I'll probably turn back onto the lake. But yeah, so one thing I wanted to talk about actually was, it popped into my head a couple of days ago. Oh, I've got a horse coming. No, there's loads of dogs. Awesome, like kind of white huskies. Beautiful dogs. Don't know if they're huskies, but absolutely gorgeous. Obviously this is a path that's walked on a lot. And again, I'm not 100% comfortable vlogging around other people, so I just flipped the camera down. But yeah, a couple of days ago I was on YouTube, and I looked in my, you know, kind of the recommended video panel on the right hand side, and it was one of my videos. It was my 24-hour movie marathon 4. I thought, oh yeah, and, you know, I forget about some of the videos I've made, or it's just not present in my head at the time. And I was just looking at it again, looking at the comments and stuff. And one thing I never did, which I said I was going to do, was kind of just do a, you know, reaction to everyone else's reaction. You know, well, not like a literal reaction video, but like, you know, the past couple of years, the 24-hour movie marathon has become such a big thing for me in terms of how big I've made the videos, in terms of length and effort and editing and all that kind of stuff. I've kind of taken to making videos before it comes out and after it comes out and everything. Oh, here we go, we're right near some houses and stuff now. So I guess this kind of leads into a neighborhood. Looks like it anyway. Yeah. And I never did that because I made the 24-hour movie marathon 4 this year. And when I posted it, it was the day before I went back to Wales for a month. And so I never really made that video. And yeah, this comes right up to the back of someone's house. That's interesting. I guess it probably leads all the way down into a fully populated neighborhood area. So we'll walk back now. Now I know where this leads. It's good to kind of find my way around the area and stuff, and know where, you know, all the spots around the lake are. Yeah, I didn't properly kind of thank people, because the video's got over 1,000 views at least. I'm sure there's a couple hundred more on top of that 1,000 as well. And I really appreciate it, because it's a 4-hour 37-minute video, and you know, people didn't need to watch it. Now people might kind of gasp at the length, but you know, I think most people would just kind of watch half an hour, leave it, come back to it, watch another half an hour, rinse, repeat. And so it's not like I ever expected anyone to watch it in one go. But I know for a fact at least 2 people did, or at least they told me they did, which I think is mental, batshit mental. You guys know who you are. You're off your heads, but but thank you nonetheless. And it came out on a Sunday, and a few people said they watched it, you know, all day that day, or they had it on the background and stuff, and they said, you know, it was a nice kind of relaxing Sunday thing to do. Sunday today, by the way, on topic. But yeah, it was just really cool. And some people were critical of it, obviously, and said it was a bit too long. There was the whole opening segment was about 45 minutes of the day before the marathon, where me and Connie kind of went out to see the eclipse, went out and watched a movie and stuff like that, and people were saying, well, it's not really relevant to the marathon. And I know it wasn't, but for me, the marathons at the end of the day are going to be stuff I'm going to look back on and watch myself, and I wanted to include it, so I did, and I'm happy I did. And yeah, it is what it is. And then I had all the great YouTuber cameos from, I don't know if I can even remember and list them all, you know, Ryan Chataway, Horace Walker Wimp, we had Robbie Webster, Chill Pilgrim had 2 cameos this year. God, who else? Thomas Pollock, James Merchant, Cineram, the one and only Zaran Isaac, my favourite YouTuber of all time. His appearance was fantastic, it really was. And I have to get up to uploading or cutting together some kind of outtakes and alternate takes of the Zaran Isaac scene from this year, because he sent me a shitload of footage. And there's a lot of funny stuff in there I didn't use because I was trying to keep it brisk with the whole scene. But yeah, just a thank you to people, basically. That's pretty much it. It's become such a huge thing now, and I feel like expectations are definitely kind of on my shoulders every year now. But that's a good thing. Next year, and I said this last year, just after the third 24-hour movie marathon, which was 3 hours long, and I thought that was mental. And people were like, do 4. Well, you got 4. But much in the same as, you know, the first 24-hour movie marathon was 20 minutes. The second was almost 2 hours. The third one was 3 hours. The fourth one was over 4 hours. It's safe to say that the fifth one will not be 5 hours long. I really need to knuckle down next year and be more concise. Now, speaking of marathons, I got my silent movie marathon too, which I filmed and did a couple of weeks ago. And I watched, like, I think around 43 films or something like that over 2.5 weeks. And so that will be the biggest thing I'll probably ever do on YouTube. Look at this. I really love sun coming through trees, especially these kinds of trees. I don't know what they're called, but I just love these kinds of trees. They remind me very much of kind of American kind of landscapes and stuff, which is why I love it so much, and love just walking around the lake. And you've probably seen far too many shots of just the lake, just slow shots of the lake, slow shots of the lake. I'll probably put some music over that so it's a little bit more interesting. But yeah, so the silent movie marathon 2 is probably going to be between 9 and 10. Ridiculous just saying it, between 9 and 10 hours long, I think. It's quite a trek back up here. And that, I think I'm going to do both ways. You can't even see my face, it's fine. Which I'm going to do both ways. Oh, there we go, I was holding it too low, sorry about that. You can get all my dashing features in there. Yeah, I'm going to do both ways. The silent movie marathon 2 will be in, I don't know, 12 or 13 separate parts, and then I'll also upload the full whack, which may or may not include a few other bits. I might trim it down for the segmented parts to make it even brisker, but for the full cut I'm going to go all the way, because why not? It's a laugh, isn't it? You don't have to watch it that way if you don't want to. Of course I wouldn't want anyone to watch that in one go, Jesus Christ. But as far as doing the marathon, it was amazing. The length of the video was definitely preying on my mind while I was making it, but otherwise it was a lot of fun. And I think I counted, not to spoil things, but I think I watched 10 films that I would consider 10 out of 10 masterpieces. So there we go. I don't know what else to say really. Well, last night me and Connie watched a really, really good film, continuing on a horror month. I kind of missed a few films, so we're on the 11th of October now. I think I've watched at least about 8 horror films. So I need to up that count considerably. Oh, let's have a look up here. This looks a bit more off the path, and maybe I can capture a live piece of footage of me getting bitten by a snake or something. What was I talking about? It looks really nice up here, but secluded as well, which I both like and don't like. Let me think what I was just bloody talking about. Right, we watched a film yesterday called Maggie, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Abigail Breslin, she was the little girl in Little Miss Sunshine, which we also watched a few months ago. Still, I forgot how good that film was, really. But yeah, Maggie was really, really great. It's a very depressing film. If you have seen it, or you know the plot, you'll probably understand why. So, okay, this is a really nice, this is very Lord of the Ringsy. You know, reminds me of Fellowship. The end of Fellowship, this big rock here. Just see what's around here. It's a very nice spot. Yeah, so Maggie was a great film. It's a kind of a horror drama. And Arnold Schwarzenegger probably gives his best performance of his entire career, in my opinion. Definitely not his best role, but his best performance. He said so much without saying, you know, hardly anything at all, really. Well, this is a really, really cool little spot. Oh, dog barking, it's the Hound. The Hound, and that's what I watched today. I watched the Hound of the Baskervilles. Stutter there, the Baskervilles. Which was, I think there's about 15 million versions of that story made on film. And I watched the 1959 version. This is great, I really love this spot. I definitely think it's probably teeming with wildlife and things, but yeah, there's paths that go all the way around here and stuff. I'm not too brave to venture too far into the woods, but I really like this. This is great. You can see with the sun, just like absolute, just so many like long cobwebs that go from tree to tree everywhere. Definitely won't be able to see it on here, but right, let's concentrate on what I was talking about. Maybe I should just sit down on one of these rocks. I just slipped my toe in between two rocks. That really hurt. Hound of the Baskervilles, yeah, the 1959 version, starring Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee. It was amazing. Get my breath back. I absolutely loved it. Peter Cushing was unreal as Sherlock Holmes. He was just fucking perfect. I mean, I'm not even a big Sherlock Holmes fan or aficionado or even know that much about the character beyond, you know, the basic stuff, but he was unreal, and he had such an uncanny resemblance to Michael Fassbender, I thought. Connie doesn't really agree with me. She says there's some similarities, but she doesn't see it as much as I do. But definitely a lot of similarities, I think, between a youngish, 40-ish noise there. I can hear something. Sound like something snorting, which is not a good sign. Or it might have just been my hair brushing against my jacket. See, that's so much of a wimp I am. Trying to find a good bit of lighting where I can still kind of swirl the camera around. Get out of this extreme light, maybe. Yes, so kind of mid-40s Peter Cushing and Michael Fassbender as he is now. I think there's an uncanny resemblance, and I know that they're thinking about, well, apparently the rumor is they're going to get, they're going to digitally recreate Peter Cushing in the new Star Wars spin-off movie Rogue One as Grand Moff Tarkin, and it's going to be like the most expensive digital job of all time, or the most extensive digital creation of all time. But you should just get Michael Fassbender. There's a bag down there attached to a tree. Let me even see. Right there. It looks like a kind of like a blood bag. You know, it's like, ooh, what's going on up here, you know? I'm sure it's something to do with nature or something. They must have people who go around here, like a warden or something, or it's not really a park or anything, but I'm sure they have to maintain it. There's a bin down there somewhere I used to put a banana in. I had a banana and sat down at the edge of the lake earlier. Got a great view and stuff. Anyway, yeah, so Hound of the Baskervilles, 1959. I loved it. The atmosphere was great. Christopher Lee was really good. But Peter Cushing just stole the show. He was unbelievable. And I'd never had experienced the Hound of the Baskervilles story before, so I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know what the reveal was. I didn't know what the cause of the mystery was or anything like that. So it was a great reveal, and I thought it was a really well-made film with some great atmosphere. And Peter Cushing was fantastic. So yeah, that was another good addition to the horror month this year. And hopefully I'll watch another one tonight as well and kind of catch up. So I can. The goal is to watch at least 31 films I've never seen before that are horror related. I try to be lenient so that it's not like straight horror all the time. Like Hound of the Baskervilles, not really a horror, it is kind of, but it's more of a kind of mystery chiller, I guess. You're kind of wondering if it's supernatural, but then you think, wow, it's a Sherlock Holmes story, you know, but still, I loved the payoff to the story and how it all resolved itself. I've been talking for 13 minutes, Jesus Christ. Well, I guess I'm going to walk back around the lake now, get the bike, and go home, which is going to be awesome, because I can just blast down all those hills. It's going to be great. And I've looked at the map, and there's another lake that way, and I'd like to try and find it, but it looks like, according to the map, there's no real trails around it, unfortunately. And it's called Haukvatnet. So yeah, I don't even want to pronounce this one, because Connie will kill me if she hears it. Haukvatnet or something, I don't know. It just sounds too convoluted, you know, for how it's spelt. It looks very simple, just like Haukvatnet or whatever, I don't know. My Norwegian pronunciation isn't perfect. It's not terrible though, but it's not perfect. So we're back on this little trail. That was a nice little detour, that. Yeah. And I guess I'll walk around, and there's a great spot. This rock goes off into the lake a little bit. Not much, but just a tiny bit, and there's like a nice tree on there. It's a really, really cool little spot. So I'll go there and just film a little shot so you can see it. It was pretty crowded when I got there though, so I couldn't really vlog much. And that's it. This is just me getting out from the house, really. It's kind of what Carl says, Horace Walker at Wimp, you know, if you get out there, you know, you're lapping the people who are sat home on the sofa just watching TV. And it kind of makes me feel bad every time he says that, because I do that a lot. But whenever I'm kind of watching a film, I kind of see it as education. I see it as more another little nugget of knowledge that I can kind of take something away from in ideas for making my own films in the future. And I hate kind of saying that as well, making my own films in the future, because there's so many people who say that. But I don't know, I'm truly committed to it. I think it's going to be a lifelong thing, whether I make it or not, in terms of making films and stuff. Just walking around this lake, I'm like, oh, some great shots. I'd love to make a film here. And I think, well, who'd be in it? You know, you know what I mean? It's just, that's the problem, really, is that there's not much for me to kind of, I don't have the tools in terms of the human element, I think, to make films. There's only so much I can do with myself, and I've done that as a kid and a teenager and stuff. Oop, let's back up away from the sun a little bit. But yeah, wow, I can see now this video is almost over 2 gigabytes, so, and there's been I'm sure there's been a lot of preamble of me just not even getting into anything, so, or is this even anything? I don't know what this is. You tell me. Let me know if you enjoy this style of video. I thought it would be a little bit more interesting than just sat at home really with a blank wall behind me, and it gets me out, you know, and I definitely feel like I've had a good bit of exercise today, and it's nice just to get out and breathe the fresh air. The air is so nice here in Norway. I mean, whenever I go back home, I have to use my asthma inhalers a lot because I have asthma, and I've had bad asthma since I was a kid. But when I come over here, I use it a lot less. Now, the past couple of weeks I've actually used it a lot, but generally here in Norway, the air is so clear. The population isn't as you know, as dense as the UK, and obviously I think pollution is probably a lot less of a problem here than it is in the UK. It's just generally just a healthier place to be, really. And look at that. You get views that I just really wish I'd known this place was here when I moved here a couple of years ago, because this is great. I just love walking around here and blabbering shit, as you can tell. So I think I'll leave it at that, to be honest, and maybe just film a few other little bits and pieces. But there we go. Thank you for joining me on another little out and about adventure. Not really an adventure, really, but I've enjoyed doing it. I hope the audio came out all right. I know the lighting was all over the place, but I don't know, it is what it is, really. Anyway, I'm getting worn out talking and walking, so I think it's time to get home and blast down that hill. And yeah, I feel good about today. I woke up feeling like shit. I got hardly any sleep last night. I really need to sort out my sleeping pattern. I'm a night owl, but I tried to get an early night last night. It just didn't work at all. I was tossing and turning all night and trying to get to sleep, but I just couldn't. And so I felt like absolute crap this morning. But I feel great now. I've got out and had some food. I had banana, you know, had some squash. And yeah, I've gone out and done something today. Now I'm going to go home and research some stuff for my next editing job, which needs to be done by this month, and get cracking on that. Probably watch another horror film with Connie, play a bit more of the Star Wars Battlefront beta before it goes out on Tuesday. And then there's a fun week ahead of continuing to work on my video, and also there's a couple of good TV shows coming out. There's The Walking Dead's back tonight, actually, so we'll be able to watch it next week sometime. And also Carl Pilkington's The Moaning of Life 2 is coming out, which me and Connie are beyond excited about. We cannot wait. Like, we're like little kids when it comes to that show. We can't wait to see more Carl Pilkington awesomeness. If you haven't seen his shows, go check them out. So there we go. This is Luke signing off from Lake. We'll call it the Lake. I'll save myself any embarrassment from Connie, at least, and we'll just call this the Lake from now on. And yeah, maybe, you know, it'll get bored me coming here a lot, but I think I'm going to do it for as much as I can. I mean, while the weather's okay. Once it starts raining and snowing heavily, it'll be a bit more difficult. But hey, maybe this will be a cool place to come when it's really snowing and stuff, and it'll look beautiful. So get some good shots of snowy trees and the lake and stuff. So there we go. I'm exhausted now from talking and walking, so thank you for watching. And I'll see you in whatever my next video is. I need to get back to my weekly schedule, and that'll probably be next week sometime. I'll get some videos pre-edited. That's why I was up late as well. Up later than I would have liked. Oh, nearly slipped. Just finishing off and editing a few videos. So there we go. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
I am called King Computer.